Hey there, welcome back. Today we're diving into a crucial topic: the common mistakes preppers make when bugging in during a crisis. While we notice many preppers are guilty of committing at least one of the critical mistakes we're covering today, we're here to help you identify these blunders and show you how to avoid them, so you can become stronger and better prepared. Stick around as we break down each misstep and see if any apply to you. Let's get started. Number 1. You're out of shape, or maybe you never were in shape. How do you expect to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, friends, property, or shelter if you can't even get up a flight of stairs without needing a break? You've got to get yourself in condition. I know it's not that easy, okay? It really isn't. It's easier to destroy something than it is to build it. You can gain a ton of weight real quick, and it can take you years to lose it, but you can't let that discourage you. You've got to get your body tuned up, which ties into number 2. Focusing solely on supplies and gear. Being prepared for an emergency means a lot more than simply having emergency supplies. Do you know how to use these supplies? Have you thought about everything you'll need beyond the cool gear, such as first aid supplies and medicine? What about emergency preparedness skills? Do you know how to perform basic first aid? Just as you focus on stocking your shelves, put equal effort into honing your skills. Training is essential. Whether you're bugging in, bugging out, or facing any emergency scenario, remember, you're your most crucial tool. Even without any equipment, stuck out in the open, if you're in good shape and have solid skills and training, you'll find a way to survive. Your abilities can be your lifeline when gear fails. So don't just stock up, get trained. Number 3, keeping your family out of it. Emergency preparedness should involve the whole family. If you're the only one who knows where supplies are kept or what to do in the event of an emergency, that's a big problem when disaster strikes. Everyone should know the location of essential supplies, how to use them, and what steps to take in different scenarios. This shared knowledge is critical for a well-coordinated response. Involve the entire family in your emergency plan, even your kids. Practice basic first aid, emergency communication, survival techniques, and ensure everyone understands their role. Not only does this ensure everyone's prepared, but it also builds a strong sense of teamwork and confidence. Number 4, you rely too heavily on electronics. In a world where many fear grid failures or massive EMP pulses, relying solely on electronics is risky. Why put all your trust in tablets, cell phones, and GPS devices? I've seen countless prepper videos where folks stash supplies and rely on navigation apps to mark the location. But what happens when those devices fail? You'll never locate your cache. It's crucial to master basic skills like using a map. While electronic devices are cool and functional, you can't depend on them entirely. Sure, some might have a Faraday cage, and that's fine, but having backup plans is essential. Invest in rechargeable equipment, flashlights, and portable roll-up solar panels for charging. This approach is far better than lugging around a ton of batteries. Number 5, poor food choices. I've seen countless videos showcasing shelters and pantries stuffed floor to ceiling with ramen. That stuff is practically void of nutritional value. No protein, no essential nutrients. It's the same story with cases upon cases of soda and snack foods. This is not survival food, folks. For long-term food storage, you can't just hoard junk that's going to wear you down. Survival's about sustaining your body with the right nutrients. You need proteins, vitamins, and minerals to keep your energy levels up and your body functioning properly. Consider stocking up on foods like beans, rice, canned meats, and vegetables, items that offer real nutritional value and longevity. Dried fruits, nuts, and whole grains are also excellent choices. These foods not only fuel your body, but also boost your immune system, helping you stay strong during trying times. Also use the FIFO storage technique. FIFO stands for first in, first out, a method of storing supplies so the earlier items get used earlier. This prevents expiration and provides a better command of inventory. Even with food and supplies that don't expire, it's still good practice to use FIFO to keep everything as current as possible. Number 6, you have nothing to occupy your mind. In any emergency situation, maintaining your mental health is just as important as your physical well-being. If your shelter lacks ways to keep your mind engaged, you're setting yourself up for a rough time. Imagine sitting there for months with nothing but your thoughts and the walls. You'll go stir-crazy. First and foremost, stock up on books, especially prepper books, DVDs, and video games. You can keep a DVD player in a Faraday cage to protect it from EMPs. Don't forget board games, card games, and puzzle books to keep your brain active and entertained. These are essential for preventing boredom and maintaining morale. Just as vital as mental stimulation is physical fitness. If your shelter or basement lacks fitness equipment, you're missing a crucial aspect of preparedness. Spending months in a confined space can take a toll on your body if you don't keep active. Invest in fitness gear like an exercise bike, resistance bands, or even a set of dumbbells. Keeping up with your exercise routine is vital for both physical and mental health. Number 7, you're only prepared for one specific thing. Don't fall into the trap of preparing for only one specific scenario. Shows like Doomsday Preppers highlight men and women who are only prepping for apocalyptic scenarios. While it's important to be ready for worst-case scenarios, it's just as crucial to prepare for more realistic threats like natural disasters. Think about the variety of emergencies you could face. Floods, fires, earthquakes, or severe storms. Each requires different supplies and strategies. While you might have tools to fend off zombies, you also need essentials to survive a flood or fire. Diversify your preparedness. Stock up on items like water purification tablets, first aid kits, fire extinguishers, and emergency shelters. Make sure you have a well-rounded plan that covers a range of potential disasters. This way, you're not just prepared for an unlikely apocalypse, but for everyday emergencies that are far more probable. Number 8, and most important, shut up. Stop telling people your business. I can understand if you're in a prepper community and you guys communicate with each other and you get each other's back in case anything goes down. That's one thing. But everyone in the world doesn't need to know everything that you have. Too many preppers run their mouths about everything that they've got. Also, sharing too much on social media about your prepping lifestyle can backfire easily. Check your privacy settings on all social media accounts if you have them. Make sure you're not geotagging photos that you post online. Do not post about daily routines or when you'll be away from home. Be careful where you talk and who you talk with about your prepping plans. People are often listening and watching both in person and online, so be vigilant. And one more thing. I've got a message for the wannabes out there. Knock it off, because you're making the rest of us look bad. You're the ones who show up looking ridiculous, acting out and making headlines, giving the media and everyone else watching an excuse to point and say, "See, preppers are crazy." But let's get one thing straight. True preppers aren't like that at all. Most preppers are just everyday folks who want to be ready if life throws a curveball. They're not out here planning to overthrow governments, and they certainly don't have any intention of harming anyone. All they want is to make sure they're prepared to protect themselves and their loved ones in the event of a disaster or emergency. But then there are the wannabes, the ones who don't understand what being prepared is really about. Instead, they show up looking absurd, spouting off conspiracy theories or drawing unnecessary attention. They're the ones dragging down the entire prepping community, making us all look extreme and unreasonable when in reality, we're just practical people who want to be ready for whatever may come. So please, for the sake of the community, knock it off. Leave the nonsense behind and focus on what really matters: being prepared, staying informed, and taking care of the people around us.